All right, good morning, everybody. I am going to be teaching you a class today, a little bit about Ayurveda, and we are going to use some tennis balls. Like if you had a tennis ball, grab your tennis ball. I'm going to start sitting in my chair so that you guys can see me a little bit better, maybe a little closer. Please feel free to sit wherever you're comfortable on the floor, have a blanket, have your blocks handy. And we are going to just talk a little bit first about Ayurveda. And Ayurveda is it's considered what's called the science of life. So Ayurveda is based on the belief that health and wellness depend on a delicate balance between the mind, body, and the spirit. And it's really just to kind of promote good health as opposed to like fight disease. So an example would be, like reflexology, which is a little bit of what we're going to do with the ball. Or maybe, if you go see a chiropractor or if you go see an acupuncturist. So there's Western medicine and then there's sort of like this Eastern medicine. And just to get a little personal, maybe it was about 9 years ago, I actually was diagnosed with cancer. So I'm a cancer survivor. And I had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and it was in my chest. So anyway, I ended up going more of a Western route and had chemo, radiation, stem cell transplant. They threw the book at me. So the reason why I'm here is because I did so much, so many different things to allow me to still be here. So in addition to just the Western medicine of the, chemo, the radiation, the stem cell transplant, I did Reiki, which is something else that can be considered Ayurveda. And it's sort of like an energy thing. Like I tried to do everything to kind of help my body get better. I did reflexology, which is a little bit of what we'll do. Even did, yoga in itself is even considered somewhat Ayurvedic in that you are doing good for your body. And some of these things are more preventative. So you're keeping a healthy body so that will prevent you from getting sick. Those are sort of the thought process of Ayurveda. So we are going to get started. There is sort of like two-part process here, though, with this Ayurveda. We're just going to be sort of using the tennis balls today, and then we'll go in a little deeper on Friday with some of the other stuff. And make sure you check your email I'll send out like a little thing for you to fill out for Friday's class. But let's think only about now, not thinking about too far in the future. Let's keep it present. So I'm going to take my ball and I'm going to sit in my chair. If you want to sit on the floor, that's okay. Have a blanket. I'm going to take the ball in my hands and I'm going to cup one hand on top of the other and then just place it on my thighs. And just close your eyes, sit up nice and tall. Take a deep, full breath in, lengthen through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, softening the shoulders, the jaw, close your eyes. And our mantra or our thoughts for today, our thought for the day is, I have time. I have time. And I know that we're always running around and doing so many things, and there never seems like there's enough time in the day. And as a kid, I can remember my mom even saying to me, oh, we got to play this game of beat the clock. And those things only cause anxiety, right? So just know and say to yourself as your mantra for our class today, I have time. I have time. I have time for myself. I have time for my health. I have time for my well-being. I have time for my family, my friends. And even instead of saying there's not enough time in the day, say there is enough time in the day. There is. I have time. I have time reminds me to slow down and move mindfully. We never know when our last day will come, but we do know that being more present, we are in any given moment, the happier and more fulfilled we are. Like being present, we're more happier and more fulfilled. And we may be more subject to the influence of urgency, through our society. We all have moments where we get caught in the rush and the flood of emails, of information, flowing schedules. And then just gently remind yourself, I have time. And it encourages you to take each moment as it comes with the fullness of your attention. And at the end of the day, I tend to have a greater sense of peace and joy and fulfillment, having released that, anxiety. Take another breath. Exhale it out. And as you inhale, think full. Right? I'm filling in my lungs. Inhaling, think full. And exhaling, think clear. Clearing out the lungs. Inhale, think full, breathing in fresh, cool air. And exhaling any old, stale air. Let it all go. And then take your hands to heart with the ball between the hands. And just bow your chin toward your chest, maybe set an intention for your practice, or just remind yourself, I have time. Slowly starting to lift your chin, let's start to roll the ball between your palms. So just let the ball roll. Let it roll up the fingers. Let it roll the center of the palm. Maybe one hand is more guiding the rolling and the other hand is more feeling. Go up to the fingertips, maybe even take it down to the wrist. Circular movements with one hand onto the other. And then maybe switch. Let the other hand do the work. Let the other hand find the benefits. Rolling up and down, circular motions or side to side. And then pause and take the ball into your left hand. And start to reach your right arm up, straight up to the sky, and bend your right elbow over the crown of your head. And dip your right ear towards your right shoulder and let your right hand just help with the guiding of your right ear towards your right shoulder. And with your left hand, take this ball and place it on the top of your shoulder and start to press down on the top of the shoulder and walk that ball as you press to the neck, to the base of the neck, walking up the neck, keep pressing down, maybe even allowing it come to the back of the ear, and then press the ball into the neck and walk it down the side of the neck, back to the base of the neck, putting pressure just gently onto the shoulders and the neck. And this is part of what, reflexology is, pressure points in the body. Maybe you repeat it. Move your hair from the side to get a little better. And then start to take it to the neck and roll circles. So my left hand is helping guide circles here on my neck. And it's okay if the ball sort of moves away, just adjust. It doesn't always have to be fluid. Just massage your neck. Let it feel good. Why not release that tension, those muscles? Rub back and forth, side to side, maybe up and down the neck. Circles if you want, whatever feels good. Allow yourself this gift to be here. Take this time. And then release the right arm, let the head come back in the center. Maybe give your head and neck a circle. Maybe let the chin dip down. And then bringing that ball into the right hand, let's take the chin into neutral. And take your left arm up overhead this time. Bend your left elbow over the head. Take that left hand to the right ear and guide your head a little bit more towards the left shoulder. Feel the length in the right side of the neck. Pause here to feel the stretch. And then when you're ready, taking the ball to your shoulder, your right shoulder, and gently press down first. So press, walk the ball up the neck, maybe even behind the ear. Press and just walk the ball back down. Find some spots, maybe here, I feel like right in my shoulder where the base of my neck is. I'm like, oh, that feels so good. Just to hold it there and press down. Move on when you're ready. moving the hair from the side of the neck, and then start to circle. And you can even get a little bit into the back of the neck too. Roll the ball where it feels good for you. Let your body tell you what it wants. And just roll it up and down. It could be circles, it could be side to side. It's however you can best use the ball on your body. Take it to the back of the neck, take it to the side. And then releasing, coming back in, softening, maybe a head circle. And come back to neutral and just pause for a moment. Close the eyes. Maybe you can feel the tension start to release. Maybe you can still feel the pressure of the ball on your shoulders, on your neck. And let that pressure just remind you to soften there. And then just place your ball down right now on the floor. If you're sitting in the chair, just place it off to the side. And let's take your hands at heart center, take a breath. Exhale it out, soften the shoulders away from the ears. And then sweep the arms out and up, reaching up overhead, inhale, reach. And as you exhale, let the arms float forward. Inhale, take the arms up overhead, reach, maybe look up. Exhale, float the arms down. Inhale, lift up, reach up. And exhale, float the arms down. Then let your arms stay out in front. And then flip your palms up. And let your thumbs start to turn outward, right? Pinkies start to turn up. And then let the palms turn down. And then turn the palms up. And then turn the palms down. Turn your palms up and turn your palms down. Good. Now take your arms out to the sides and we're going to alternate. Right palm up, left palm down. And then switch. Left palm up, right palm down. And then just keep switching. And maybe notice the shoulder starts to dip in. Maybe the thumb turns a little bit more behind you. Rotating, rolling out the shoulders. And then once your right palm turns down and your left palm turns up, pause. Take a breath here. As you inhale, left arm up, right arm down. As you exhale, side bend to the right. Look under the right arm. Come back to center, left palm up, right palm down. And switch again. Just rotate and switch. Switch. Switch until maybe now the right palm turns up, left palm down. Take a breath in, start to reach the right arm up. As you exhale, side bend to the left. Keep reaching, keep grounding with the sits bones. Feel like you're reaching in opposite directions. And then come back to center. Let your arms come out in front. Stop signs with your hands out in front. And here, just spin the fingers out and down and spin the fingers forward and in. Spin the hands out and maybe down, and then spin the fingers forward and in. And we're going to come back to this later. So just remember sort of this movement, this spinning of the fingers. Maybe it just goes out to the sides. And then keep your left hand out in front. And we're going to take your right hand and gently start to pull back on your pointer finger. And then gently move and start pull back on the middle finger. And gently start pulling back then the ring finger. Then your last pinky finger. Good. Now turn your fingers down and take your right hand and pull all the fingers towards you. Let your inner elbow spin towards the sky. And then keeping the left fingers down, take your right hand under and grab the thumb with the hand. And then take the thumb, maybe turn it down or pull, maybe draw the thumb back a little bit. Releasing, maybe you shake out your arms and release them for a second. Shrug the shoulders, and then bring the right hand back out in front. And your left hand now is going to gently pull back each finger, stretching each finger as you pull them back gently. And then we're going to rotate and turn the fingers down. Now the hand and the left hand pulls all the fingers back. The heel of your right hand presses forward. And then the left hand comes under the right to grab the thumb. Maybe you pull back on the thumb a little. And release, maybe shake it out. You can clasp your hands and roll the wrists. Feels good to kind of get into your wrists a little. And then take your hands out in front and now turn the hands down so that the palms are facing you. And my right thumb is gonna place it right on the palm of my left hand. My fingers are gonna wrap around the top of my left hand, and I'm gonna pull the fingers back just gently. And maybe you spin your elbow forward. So see how my elbow sort of spins forward. And then gently release. The right hand, fingers turn down, left thumb to the inside of the palm, the fingers wrap around, and you're gently guiding it back. And even here, see my inner elbow, I might want to spin it maybe a little bit more forward. Try not to arch in your lower back. And then you can release and shake out and roll the wrists. And then take your hands to heart. And we're going to now reverse our prayer. So your hands start here. See if you can rotate so the fingers keep pressing into the hands. Let the fingers turn down. And then let the fingers spin to turn up. And then can you let the fingers just sort of rotate so they turn down? Any amount. Like you can only be here, you can be here. I've been doing a lot of this stuff for a while, so just do what feels good. And then spin it up. Try not to shrug your shoulders. Try to soften. And then allow everyone just went, whew. Let the fingers turn down. And then back up. And then just roll them out again. Okay. And then open and close the fingers. Good. Now make two fists with your hands. Take them out to the side. And let those fists come out to the side. And then turn the knuckles down. And soften the shoulders away from the ears. Release the hands, taking the elbows, bend the elbows, let the fingers touch the shoulders. And we're going to do big circles. So let the elbows come in towards one another, lift up, open wide, and lower. Good. And as the elbows come out and down, let the hands help to soften the shoulders away from the ears. And after you've done about 3 in one direction, go in the opposite direction. So we're really getting into the fingers, the hands, the wrists, the shoulders. Right? All of these joints that we use so much. Let them get lubricated, let them get some relief. And then release. We're going to take the left hand to the right leg and the right hand behind you. Just a gentle twist to look over the right shoulder. Maybe you find a little length in the left side of the neck. You dip your chin slightly in towards your chest. And with a breath in, come to center. Right hand to the left leg, left hand behind you. Take a breath in. As you exhale, take your twist. Look over the left shoulder. Maybe the chin slightly dips towards the chest. And then you come back into center. Now for me, I'm going to get up off of my chair and I'm going to come down onto my mat. And we're going to come first to all fours. Have your ball handy though. So if you want to use a blanket here, you can use a blanket. If you want to stay with the chair, then you can always do your cat and cows here with your hands on the chair. But I want you to remember when we were doing this motion with our hands, because we're going to come to this in our cat and cows too. So first start your cat and cow normally as you were. Inhale, drop your belly, and exhale, press, lift, and round. Inhale, drop your belly, and exhale, press, lift, and round. Keep on going, inhaling, and exhaling. Now pause here on your all fours. If you're standing, just stay here for a moment. We're going to tap into the tops of your feet just so you can start to get some activation in your feet. And just tap the tops of the feet on the mat. If you're standing, maybe you practice flipping to the top of the foot from the foot being flexed. You know, up to you, play around with it. Just tap the tops of the feet. And then pause here. And then as you inhale, drop your belly. I want you to curl your toes under. And pause here for a moment and feel the toes, feel the undersides of your feet as you start to drop your belly. Keep the shoulders from the ears. Maybe even bend the elbows a little bit and draw the elbows back towards the thighs as you bend them. Now here, as you exhale, untuck the toes, press into the tops of your feet and round. Inhale, drop your belly, gaze is up, curl the toes. Curl them under. As you exhale, untuck the toes, press, lift, and round. And then come back to a neutral spine. So here, I want you to think about how we were rotating our hands out and then totally in, so we can get some stretch here in the shoulders and the wrists. So as you inhale, fan your fingers out, maybe bend the elbows, drop your belly. As you exhale, let the fingers fan in towards one another, elbows out to the sides, and then press, lift, and round, widen your back body as your fingers are inward. As you inhale, drop the belly, turning and rotating the fingers outward towards the outsides of the mat. Drop your belly, maybe a bend in the elbows. As you exhale, press, lift, round, tucking in. Let your fingers spin towards one another and widen your back body. One more. Inhale, spin the fingers out towards the outer part of the mat. Bend your elbows, look up. Exhale, press, lift, and round. Spin the fingers inward, pressing and widening, and then releasing. Let your hands come back to neutral. We're going to move through our cobra pose. So if you want to take your blanket out from underneath your knees, and make your way down onto your stomach. And pause here, moving a little side to side. Feel the mat on your belly. Let's lift your right leg, just reach it and walk it long. Feel the top of the foot. So we were patting down before. Really feel the top of the foot. Left leg comes long. Feel the top of the left foot on the mat. Walk your hands a little bit more towards the lower rib cage. Maybe you feel the fingers just a little bit graze the outer parts of the mat. And then grip the mat with your hands. And as you inhale, start to pull your heart forward and through. Let the shoulders soften away from your ears. Breathing in and pulling your heart through. Hug your elbows in. Inhale. As you exhale, slowly lower down. Releasing the arms and settling your arms on the mat, stacking one hand on top of the other. Let your forehead rest on your arms. Take a breath here, inhale, and exhale. Very slowly placing your hands on the mat. Take a breath in, start to press into the hands, and as you exhale, come into a child's pose. Slowly draw the hips back, reach your arms forward. Let your chest come as close to your thighs as you can. Let your arms reach long and let your sits bones reach back. Breath in, breath out. And from here, we're going to come into a downward facing dog. We're only going to do one downward dog today. Curling your toes under, start to lift the hips. And if this is too much, place some blocks under your hands or come to your chair and place your hands on the chair. So take a deep breath here, exhale it out. Shake your head yes and no. Roll your head and neck. And then come up onto the balls of your feet. Bend into your knees and let your chest come towards your thighs. Tip your tailbone to the sky like you do in your cow pose. Straighten your legs any amount. Grip the mat with your fingertips. Let your inner elbows spin forward. Let your triceps hug into the body. Pull your core in, take a breath. Exhale it out. One more breath in. One more breath out. And then we're going to drop down onto the knees. And we're going to sweep your legs out in front. and find your sits bones. So move side to side. And then point and flex your feet when you're ready. Make circles with your feet and ankles. Go in both directions. And try and maintain a nice L shape with the upper body and the legs as you circle, pointing and flexing. We often lose this ability to point our toes. We spend so much time with the feet in flexion. Open the toes wide, spreading the toes as wide, like when you open your fingers, spread your toes wide. Take a breath. And exhale, just release the feet. We're going to roll down onto your back. So gently make your way down your way onto your back. And just bend into the knees and let the feet come to the mat. And your arms can be down the sides of the body, or you can bend your elbows so that your hands are facing one another and your arms are in two right angles. And thinking cat and cow here, but on your back, can you take a breath in and arch your spine? As you exhale, can you lower the spine, maybe round and tip the tailbone, maybe the tailbone lifts. Inhale, lower the hips, maybe arch the spine, press into the shoulder blades and the hips. As you exhale, lower the spine to the mat. Maybe you're rounding here any way you can. Inhaling, lowering, arching. Exhaling, releasing, and rounding. Take a breath here. Let the arms release. Inhale. And exhale. Taking your right knee in towards your chest. And then take the left knee into the chest. Rock a little side to side, side to side. And then cactus your arms or take your arms out to a T, breath in. As you exhale, let the knees float to the left, take your gaze to the right. Using your right hand, take your right hand to the left leg and just guide yourself more into this twist. Pulling on the left leg with the right hand. Softening the left side of your body a little bit more towards the mat. Releasing, coming back into center. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, let the legs float to the left. Take your gaze to the right. And here the left hand comes onto the right thigh, and I'm pressing down and pulling a little with my left hand on my right thigh to get more twist. And with each exhale, twist a little deeper. Soften where you can. With your next breath in, come back to center. Hug the knees to your chest, massage the low back. And take your arms straight up to the sky. Let your palms touch. As you inhale, open the arms wide and extend your left leg towards the front of the mat. It could be at about 45 degrees, it could be higher. As you exhale, pull everything back in, knee to the chest, arms to the sky, palms touch. Inhale, open the arms, extend the right leg this time. Exhale, pull it all back in, arms to the sky, palms touch. Inhale, open, left leg extends. Exhale, pull it all back in and squeeze. Inhale, extend the right leg, open the arms. Exhale, pull it in and squeeze. You have one more. Inhale, arms open, extend the left leg. Belly button pulls down, spine on the mat. Exhale, pull it in. One more. Inhale, arms open, right leg extends. Try to keep the shoulders on the mat. Exhale, pull it in. Now take your legs and your arms up to the sky. And here we're going to start to lower the left leg and the left arm together. And then pull it all back up into center. And we're going to lower the right leg and the right arm together towards the front of your mat or towards, straight. And then pull it all back in. We're going to take the left leg and the left arm, let them float down, hovering. And then pull it all back up. Right leg, right arm floats down. And then use your core to pull it all back up. One more each side. Left arm, left leg, float it down. Use your core, bring it all back up in. And then right arm, right leg, lower it down. Bring it all back up. Pause here for a moment. Let the arms release. Let the legs stay to the sky. Just feel here for a moment, allowing this inversion to happen. Allowing the legs to just soften. Feeling maybe the blood coming from the feet and traveling to other parts of the body where normally gravity has that blood pulling its way towards the feet and staying more there. Another breath in. And then bend into the knees, bringing the knees to your chest. We're going to roll onto one side and get ready to press yourself up to sit. Once you come up to sit, we're going to find Baddha Konasana, which is soles of the feet in towards one another. Grab your ball when you can. Soles of the feet into touch. You can sit up on a blanket here too if you find you're rounding a little. You don't have to have the heels super close to the groin area. You can also opt to let the feet walk out a little forward. And it may give you just a little bit more space. And then take the hands onto the ankles. And we're going to gently start to fold in. Good. Gently start to fold in. And then start to rise up and place your thumbs onto the arches of your feet. And massaging the arches of your feet. If you're finding here that the knees being open is just uncomfortable for you, you can always place the blocks underneath your knees to find a little bit more support. And let your thumbs roll up and down the arches of your feet. And here in reflexology, there are different points on the feet that correspond, to body parts in your body. So massaging, certain parts of your feet will make a connection with other organs and body parts in your body. And then allow your thumbs to come to your toes. Maybe you're going one toe at a time, pulling the toes. And it's also often thought in reflexology that applying pressure to the foot is believed to bring relaxation and healing. Pull up on the toes. Now take your peace fingers to the big toes and then just pull yourself in. So peace fingers hug the big toes and you fold in. And then rise up and extend your left leg out in front. And we've done this one other time in another class. So my left leg is out in front. And I'm going to take my right leg and just cross it so that my right ankle rests on my thigh. And, this might not be everybody's favorite, but we're going to take the fingers in between the toes. And we've done this one other time in another class. You're just going to thread my left hand through my right toes. And maybe you only get 2 fingers in, and that's okay. But get those fingers in, trying to get those fingers between the toes. It really helps with your stability. And then once you have maybe 2 fingers, 4 fingers, whatever fingers, start to roll the foot. So manually help your foot point and flex. Manually circle your foot. And then we're going to release the fingers, let the right leg come out, bend the left knee, and place your left ankle on your right thigh, if that feels okay for you. And then we're going to be doing the same thing we did with the other side. So taking your fingers, maybe 1, maybe 2 fingers, however many fingers you can get in between the toes, get it. Like I can feel my right fingers can get more and more between my left toes than my right. That's okay. Circle the foot using it's as if your fingers were clasping each other. The fingers are clasping the toes. And just circle it in both directions. Manually point and flex the foot. And then take the fingers out and release. Now I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me. We're going to take our ball. And you're going to take the ball and you're going to bend your right knee and place the ball underneath your left calf. And then take the hands behind you and press into the right foot so that you can lift your hips just a little bit off the mat. And then slowly roll up and down on that ball on your calf. And you should let your left leg be a little heavy on the ball so that you can feel this massage, this release of the calf muscles. If you want to circle it, you can circle it. If you want to rock forward and back or side to side, you do you. You do whatever feels good for you. You can go all the way up towards the knee without being at the knee and towards the ankle. And then lower the hips, releasing the left leg. We're going to take the ball and bring it up a little higher. So now I'm going to place it underneath my hamstring. So this is where a lot of people find a lot of tension, a lot of tightness. So let that left leg be heavy on the ball, press into the right foot, maybe lift up. Your left leg can be a little bit, maybe you're just rocking side to side here to get into the hamstring. Maybe you're circling on a spot, maybe rolling to the outer part of the leg. And then pause. Now this is where usually a lot of people get this one. Like this is the one where you're going to lift up and come onto your glute. And then just massage that muscle, the hip, the glute, rolling maybe a little to the side. Letting the pressure of your body weight rest on the ball. And then we're going to release. We'll switch sides. Bend the left knee. Place it underneath your right calf. Let the hands come behind you. Press down through your left foot. Lift your hips just slightly and just roll forward and back, side to side. If the ball slips out, just fix it. It's okay. Mine just did. And then we're releasing. We're moving it up to the hamstring now. Place it on a spot maybe that feels a little tight. You're going to gently, my hips are just hovering. Feel a little bit of a massage on the hamstring. Circles or front and back. Try to keep the shoulders away from your ears still. Don't sink into it with your shoulders. And then move the ball all the way up onto your glute muscles by your butt. And you can roll it maybe on the outside, even a little of that. So it doesn't have to be on your sits bones. It's better if it's on the more muscular part of your glutes, your butt. Oh, that feels good. And then release. All right, so then keep your ball handy. We're going to come to stand. So make your way up to stand. And now here, if you have a wall or a chair, it might be beneficial because we're going to do some of the feet. And this one feels so good. So you're going to take your ball and just place it down in front of your right foot. Okay, and from here, we're going to take the ball of your right foot to the ball. And maybe you're cupping your toes over the ball. And then with one hand on the chair, maybe one hand on the hip, you just start to roll the foot forward and back on the ball. Just roll the foot maybe from toe to heel, heel to toe. And then maybe you start to go side to side. So maybe you pause here at the ball of the foot and go side to side. Maybe you're up by your toes. Maybe you're over at your heel. It could also be in the arch. And then start to circle it. So circling feels really, really good. I'm on my feet a lot and I feel like circling and getting some relief in my feet really helps. Our feet are our foundation. So as soon as we don't have the ability to have flexibility in our feet, we start to lose balance and we lose certain, aspects of, our balance when we don't have our feet healthy. So then we're going to switch to the other side and place your left foot this time now. Maybe start at the ball of the foot and maybe even press down. And then start to roll the foot up and down on the ball. Up and down, from toes through to the arch, down to the heel. Then practice side to side. And maybe you're zigzagging down and zigzagging up. And then circles. And when you circle, make sure you go in both directions. And then pause. If there's somewhere else on the foot that you need a little bit more, maybe you pause. And then we'll release that foot. So place the ball just off to the side so it doesn't roll away. And we're going to still have the chair here in front of us, and we're going to take our blanket now. And I have my blanket a little bit more stacked. If you don't have a blanket, you could use your block. You could also use, if you have a towel or something. But I'm going to stack my blanket. And then I'm going to take my hands onto the chair, and I'm going to step my right foot over the blanket, and I'm going to place the ball of my left foot on the edge of the blanket. And then from here, I'm going to lower my left heel so my left heel comes to the mat and my toes are on the blanket. And it's just a nice stretch here in the back of the calf muscle. You're standing up nice and tall. If you don't feel enough, then you can use your block. You can always place your toes on the block and your heel on the floor. And then from here, we're going to step into the right foot, let the left foot meet the right. And then my right foot steps back. So the ball of my foot, my toes are on the blanket, and my heel comes down towards the mat. And you're standing nice and tall. You're drawing the heel down, keeping your hips square to the front of the mat. Try not to open. Try not to overly twist to close. Just keep your hips square to the front of the mat. And just breathe into the back of your right calf. And then step forward, we're releasing the feet. And you can move your blanket off to the side. Have your blocks handy. And we're going to take mountain pose. So now maybe you pedal out your feet, spread your toes wide, rock forward and back, forward and back. Feel your feet. And then strong feet, strong foundation. Spread your toes wide. Breathe in, let the breath come up the legs, up into the chest. Lengthen the spine, reaching through the crown of the head. Let the fingers reach down to soften the shoulders away from the ears. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Another deep breath in. Another deep breath out. Let's take the arms out in front. And your palms are down. Link your thumbs. So let your thumbs link. Let your fingers spread wide. Let your shoulders come into the sockets. And then try to pull your thumbs apart, even though they stay linked. Now here, your back muscles are going to start to engage. Take another breath in. Take another breath out. Releasing your hands, we're going to switch. So let your arms come out in front. Now this time, the awkward thumb links the awkward way. And we're going to let the shoulders come into the socket, spread your fingers wide, and try to pull the thumbs apart. Breathing in, find length in your spine. Exhaling, soften the shoulders away from the ears and pull the thumbs apart. Separating the hands, maybe releasing the wrists. We're going to come back to that again, and this time bring the arms up with it. So let's link the thumbs, maybe your comfortable way first. Pull the thumbs apart, engage your back muscles, and then maybe slowly, any amount, lift the arms up. Breath in. Exhale, start to lower the arms down. You don't need to keep an intense pull of the thumbs. Just have that link of the thumbs, maybe a small pressure, keep reaching the arms up, and lower the arms down. One more time, lift the arms up, inhale, and exhale, lower the arms down. Now link the thumbs the awkward way. Same thing, inhale, arms lift, maybe spread the fingers wide, Reaching up high and long. Now maybe your shoulders are out of the sockets, and then let the shoulders come back in the sockets. Lowering to shoulder height. Inhale, lift up, reach up. Big breath in. Exhale, lower. We have one more. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. And just release the arms. Just release. Let it go. Let it all go. So we're going to take some of that into our practice too. So let's find front of the mat. And we're going to step back into a warrior one. So I'm going to step my left foot back and pivot and plant my left foot. Now, my right leg stays straight, and I'm going to try and turn my right hip a little backward, my left hip forward. And then bend into your right knee. We're going to drop your right thigh parallel to the mat. Now here, take the arms out in front. Maybe you link your thumbs. And then as you inhale, take the arms overhead in your warrior one. Try to pull the thumbs apart. Feel the engagement of your back muscles. Breath in. Breath out. 2 more breaths. Breathe in. Keep pulling the thumbs apart. Engage your back muscles and breathe out. Inhale. And exhale. Separate your thumbs. Release the arms. We're going to straighten your right leg and let your hands come to your hips. Draw the hips back, right hip back. Hinge forward gently. Maybe you release your hands to blocks or your chair. Find your pyramid pose. Breath in. Breath out. Bend into your right knee. Step forward. Maybe a fold in. And then lift the chest, reach the arms, round down with the feet to rise up. Hands to heart center. Mountain pose. Left foot stays strong and firm forward, and you're going to step your right foot back. Pivot and plant your right foot at about 2 o'clock. You're going to straighten your left leg, draw the left hip back. Slowly start to bend into your left knee. Finding your warrior one legs. Take your arms out in front. Link your thumbs the awkward way. Gently pull apart the thumbs. As you inhale, reaching the arms overhead, lift up. Find your warrior one, strong. Maybe you lift up, up, up with the arms. Ground down with the feet. Find length in the sides of your body. Breathing in, getting some length. As you exhale, release the thumbs, float the arms down. Hands to the hips, straighten your left leg. Draw the left hip back, hinge forward. Fold any amount. Your hands can stay on the hips. They can release to blocks. You can also take your hands to the chair. That's up to you. Fold in any amount. Breathing in and finding your length. Exhale and folding. Start to bend into the left knee. Step forward. Let your feet meet and fold. And then bend into the knees. Root down on the feet. Rise up. Standing tall, arms reach, and mountain pose. Okay, so now normally we have prayer here at our heart. We're going to take prayer behind our backs. So if you don't have that in your practice, you can also just come back to like fists, and I'll show you how we're going to do it. So I'll turn backwards so you can see me. Take your arms out to the side. Big breath in, thumbs are up. As you exhale, turn your thumbs down. Now sweep the arms behind you. And maybe here you come into a prayer pose. Now your prayer could also be here with the fingers down. Your prayer could be here with the fingers turned up. Your prayer could be here with your fists. What I don't want to see though is rounding in the back. So if you're rounding here, then maybe you try something else like your fists. Pressing the fists or the fingers into their spine, find a little bit more length. Inhale and exhale. Releasing your arms and rolling the wrists. We're going to add that into our warrior one, okay? So let's step back with your left foot and find your warrior one. Bend the right knee. And let's start with our hands forward, linking your thumbs first. And then reach the arms up overhead. Inhale, find your warrior one, thumbs linked. As you exhale, float the arms down to the sides. Turn your thumbs down, maybe make fists with your hands, or bringing the arms behind you and find your reverse prayer. It could be palms touching, it could be knuckles touching. Take a breath here, inhale, soften the shoulders from the ears. As you exhale, straighten the right leg, maybe fold just a little forward. It could just be a little. What I want to see is that the elbows draw back, the heart comes forward, your spine is long and you're not rounding. If you round, make fists with your hands and let your knuckles touch or bring your hands to the hips. Rooting down to rise up, lift your chest, release your arms and step forward. We're going to switch sides. Right leg steps back, warrior one feet. Take your arms up out in front, link your thumbs the awkward way, have a bend in your left knee. With your next inhale, take the arms up overhead, big breath in. As you exhale, let the arms float down to the sides. Let your thumbs turn down, arms sweep back behind you. Reverse prayer, or maybe make your fists. Let your hand be in line with your spine, and your hands here are your guide. Straighten your left leg and start to hinge forward any amount. Let your spine be long. Let your hands help be that guide. Keep rooting down through your left big toe. Draw your left hip back. You could be anywhere here in this fold. And then root down to rise up. Release the arms, roll the wrists, and step forward. Excellent. Okay, coming into triangle pose. We're going to I'm going to turn sideways on my mat and step wide. I have 2 blocks, and I'm going to place one at each foot. Okay? Good. Now, we're going to turn our right toes out, and the arms come out to the sides. Your left toes turn in slightly and press out through the left heel. So you want to make sure that inner arch of the left foot lifts. Now here, look towards the right fingers and reach the right fingers towards the front of the mat and let your hips draw back. Tip over and let the right hand come to your block. Maybe your left hand comes to the hip, or you reach the left arm up to the sky. Root down through the right big toe. Find some length in your left side body. Try not to let your right hip stick out. You want to keep the right hip underneath you, and think about the right inner thigh rotating up towards the sky. Root down to rise up and come up. Right toes turn in. Right heel presses out. Left toes turn out. Arms are parallel. We're going to reach, look towards the left fingers, hinging at the hips. And then tip over and let your left hand come to the block, maybe the right hand to your hip, or the right hand to the sky, and stack your shoulders. Round down through the left big toe. Try and get your left hip to spin up and hug your left hip underneath you. Root down, rise up. Parallel your feet, hands to the hips. Excellent. Walk your feet in. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, so from here, we're going to come down to our mat. All right, we're going to slowly make your way down onto the mat. Take your legs out in front. Finding your sits bones again. We're going to come to a forward fold. So a forward fold is actually a more advanced pose. So you never really like to do too many seated forward folds in the beginning of class, but we've been stretching out the back of the hamstring and softening the muscles. So now we're going to come to big arms up overhead, breath in, exhale, folding forward any amount. And maybe you're reaching for your calf muscles, your ankles, your feet, whatever you can grab onto. Allow your hands to help pull yourself forward. And in your forward fold, you don't want to have the nose towards the shins. You want to think more like your cobra pose, where your heart pulls forward towards the front of the mat and your sits bones reach back. Take a breath here, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Start to rise up. And just bend into your right knee. Take your right foot and cross it over your left foot. And take your right hand behind you and sit up nice and tall. Make sure that your right big toe and your right foot is grounded on the mat. And we're going to take the left arm out to the sides. Take a huge breath in. As you exhale, hugging the left arm around the right leg. As you exhale, twist and look over the right shoulder. Try not to round here. Spine is long, left foot is flexed, and right foot is grounded on the mat. And your right foot can slide a little bit more forward to give you a little bit more space if that's what you need. And then slowly unwind at center, releasing the right leg. Left knee bends, left hand behind you. We're taking the left foot up and over and crossing the right leg. My left big toe is grounded on the mat. My right foot flexes. Take your left arm out to the side, big breath in. As you exhale, right arm hugs around the left leg. As you exhale, take your twist to the left and look over the left shoulder. Now it's easy here to let your right foot just go limp. Make sure your right foot is active. Make sure your left big toe is touching the mat. Look over the left shoulder. Use the right arm to hug the leg in. Use that left leg to press away so that you can get the twist deeper. Another breath in. Another breath out. With your next inhale, you'll start to unwind, releasing your left leg to meet your right, making your way down onto your backs. Coming into one bridge pose here, or maybe two bridge poses. We're going to let the heels walk close to the hips, and your arms are down the sides of the body. Your feet are parallel, and you can imagine, we do have blocks, but I forgot to bring mine down with me. So imagine that you have a block between the legs. And as you inhale, you're starting to lift the hips and squeeze that imaginary block, or if you have your block handy, you can grab it and place it between the inner thighs. And now here, maybe you feel enough flexibility in the shoulders to tuck your shoulders more underneath you. Maybe you even feel better here clasping your hands. Tuck your shoulders underneath you gently. Open the heart. If it's not there, it's okay to just tuck the shoulders. Lower the hips down to the mat. Release the arms from underneath you. We'll do one more time so that we can switch the grip of the hands. Now, as you inhale, start to lift the hips. And then bring the shoulders a little bit more. Tuck them underneath you. Roll those shoulders underneath you. And maybe that feels okay where it is. You can also clasp your hands underneath you too. And if you're doing that, you're pressing the palms in towards one another. You're pressing the pinky fingers into the mat. You're getting a little bit more lift in the chest. Draw your chest towards the back of the mat as you press into the feet. And then separate the hands, lower the hips. Releasing the arms, let the knees knock in, let your feet be wide. Take a deep full breath in. Take a deep full breath out. Slowly just windshield wipe the legs from side to side. Maybe you take the arms overhead and grab opposite elbows. Let your legs float to the right. Take your gaze to the left. And then bring the legs back through center. Let the legs float to the left. Maybe you switch the crossing of your arms overhead. And then the legs come to center. The arms release, slowly extending one leg and the other and preparing for Shavasana pose. So this is the most important pose of our class. And it is the one that you should take your time in. So if practicing on your own, you want to make sure you always come to Shavasana pose. You take that time for yourself in your Shavasana pose. Take a deep, full breath in and sigh it out through the mouth, softening where you can, finding stillness. Take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, allow yourself to sink deeper into your position. And if you choose to take your Shavasana pose seated, you can. Lying down, it's up to you. Bring your breathing to its normal rhythm as you start to settle into this self-care meditation. Just be here with your breath, breathing in and out. Feeling your body expand with your breath in and contract with your breath out. Breathe in, breathing out, and pausing in between each breath. You are worthy of receiving love from yourself. You are worthy of being your priority. You are worthy of receiving the love and appreciation and care you so easily give to others. You are worthy of enjoying this self-care meditation. Breathe that in, allowing yourself to be open to receiving your love. And exhale. So imagine with me that you're sitting in the middle of a large room. It's an open room of a house. The sunshine illuminates the room and warms your skin. And a soft, soothing aroma makes you feel calm and safe. It's quiet, and the only noises you hear are the songs of nature coming in from your open windows. Even though the large open room may not resemble your current residence, you know this is your home, where your heart and your body and your soul feel grounded and vibrant. You are safe here. Breathe into this self-care meditation. Here, can you listen? Listen to what your inner voice says to you. What do you need right now? What would make your body feel good? Your mind feel good? Your soul feel good? Just take a moment to sit with your breath and with the answers that come up for you. Just breathe into this self-care meditation. See these answers in your mind. You deserve to feel good. You deserve to shine. Open the door to the room and see those things you called to your mind waiting. And they're ready there for you to call them in. Take in a deep breath of gratitude. And one by one, invite each of those things you identified. Each of those things you know will make you feel good. There is no judgment on what you invited in. Remind yourself of what was discovered in the self-care meditation. Maybe you invited in new boundaries you need to put place to protect your energy. Maybe you invited in permission to say no. Maybe you invited in permission to say yes. Maybe you invited in something that seems lavish. And it's all okay. And you're worthy of it all. So take a deep breath in and see yourself in the middle of this room again, surrounded by all the things you have thought about to show yourself love, to care for the phenomenal person that you are. You are worthy of this self-care meditation. See yourself look into a mirror on the wall as you place your hands together in your heart center. See your reflection as you bow your head to the hands. And let yourself say aloud, I am worthy. Slowly releasing your arms down the sides of your body. If you're lying here on your back, start to make little movements with your body, maybe reaching the arms overhead. If you're seated, just start to sway, maybe side to side. Bringing the knees in towards your chest if you are lying on your back, and rolling to one side. Take a deep, full breath here in your fetal position. As you exhale, press yourself up to a comfortable seated pose facing the front of your mat. Maybe keep your eyes closed and your head heavy. Let your hands come to your thighs. Gently press down on your thighs and let your hands slide to the kneecaps. As you inhale, lift your heart. As you exhale, bend your elbows, bring your hands to heart center. Let the thumbs come to your chest. Take a deep, full breath in. Take a deep, full breath out. Joining our voices in the sound of Om. Inhale. Om. Bowing your head to heart with so much gratitude. Taking this time for yourself. Taking this time to help your body. Never feel guilty about taking this time. Thumbs to your third eye. Namaste. Thank you, everyone, for joining today.